We're live. What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's having a good weekend. Happy Friday all around the world. Hanging out here. I'm actually having a pretty good weekend myself. You know, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Whenever I get super quiet on social media, that doesn't mean I'm losing steam in any sense. It simply just means that I'm taking time to reevaluate, basically go back to the drawing board and make sure that I can continue what I've been doing, continue delivering content, and continue bringing guests. So whenever my feed gets quiet, just know that there's some danger, some heat coming. And, you know, tonight I just wanted to hop on and do a little live. I've been liking the live stuff. I'm still going to be bringing the interviews. But I saw that something was announced in the world of Kiss, which obviously I wasn't really expecting. I mean, with this 2020 pandemic and with the band saying that they were pretty much done with new music. I mean, the last quote from Paul Stanley on this was saying, I don't think a new Kiss album is going to come anytime soon, because I think he said he basically doesn't even see the point to releasing new music at this point. So with no tours coming up, the future was looking uncertain. And sure enough, Kiss has popped off with an announcement. So they're going to be performing a show that they're calling Kiss 2020 Goodbye at the Atlantis Resort in Dubai, which actually rhymes quite nicely. And for anybody who isn't familiar with the Atlantis in Dubai, by the way, this is it. So, incredible venue, incredible place for Kiss to go up and perform. You know, this actually has me reminiscent of, I think, 2006 in an episode of Gene Simmons' Family Jewels. I'm such a Kiss nerd. I remember all this stuff. Like, it's like a photographic memory with this Kiss shit. Gene Simmons had an episode where he took his nephews to SeaWorld on Family Jewels. And while he was at SeaWorld, he ended up talking to one of the executives and basically negotiating a contract deal where Kiss would play in the pool while orcas were swimming around and dolphins and this and that and the third. And I saw that on the show, but I don't think that ever actually came to fruition. So fast forward, you know, almost 15 years later, and Kiss has agreed to play at the Atlantis in Dubai. So honestly, my first reaction to this is that it's cool. You know, I definitely saw this coming for Kiss. I think it's definitely in their wheelhouse, especially with that SeaWorld episode with Gene. I think it completely makes sense. You know, Kiss is a group that leaves themselves open to so many different opportunities. You could really deliver Kiss in many different formats. I mean, they've done American Idol. They do Good Morning America. They do pretty much every show. And I mean, even if they wanted to do a Kiss, Broadway adaptation at some point, they could probably do it. I mean, Kiss is such a multifaceted thing. And the other thing about this is I don't see why they shouldn't do it. You know, if you can get out there and achieve parts of what you love to do, especially when it involves, you know, typically like with Kiss, it would involve 20,000 people in an arena. So if you can find a way to do some of what you love without putting people in danger and following all the guidelines and all the stuff that we already know well about, I don't have to, you know, make you guys aware of this, I think you should do it. You know, there's so many groups that have come and gone since the era of Kiss that are not around anymore. Hell, bands that started 15 years after Kiss that couldn't even keep it together for 10. And the fact that they're in this position where they can go out and just do something like this, really, they don't need permission from anybody in the general public. They're their own boss, and they can just go and do this. I mean, they're enjoying the fruits of their labor for something that they started in their 20s. So I applaud the fact that they're doing it. I think it's a good idea. However, of course, we know with Kiss, nothing is ever going to come free. That is one thing that, hey, you know, I would say that Kiss is a big part of Americana at this point. I think that Kiss is a big pillar of American capitalism. So with that being said, I think you sort of know what to expect in regards to that. So to access this live stream, they have two options for the regular options. They have the $39.99 access and then the $49.99 access. So enjoy full 1080p from your desktop, mobile, or streaming device. Standard package includes one replay over a 24-hour period. Deluxe package includes unlimited replays over a 72-hour period. So they're taxing for those replays. Remember the days when you got a DVD and you paid the one-time fee of $20 and you replayed it forever? I guess those days are over. Okay, so I get that part. You know what? You're going to fly to Dubai. They're going to bring basically the production of a small army, because that's what KISS is. When KISS is moving on the road, it's like moving a small army. So I understand. You have to pay people. There's moving parts to this. You can't just go around and put on massive productions for free. That makes sense to me. But this is the part that doesn't quite make sense to me. So along with by the way, there's already a deluxe option with the regular. But along with the regular deluxe option, there's now VIP packages for the KISS live stream event. Let me say that again. VIP packages for the live stream event. Just in case that didn't cut through the first time. This is hilarious to me. So these packages include 30 days of unlimited video on demand streaming and replays, and 8 additional limited edition items, which they don't list what these items are. So essentially you get 30 days of replay, because I want to sit there and watch the same thing for 30 days in a row, and then they're going to send you 8 mystery items. Now with the Platinum VIP package, you get 14 items and a numbered KISS 2020 Goodbye engraved metal ticket. Now the price for these packages starts at $249 for the 8 items and $1,000 for the 14 items. So, this is where my feelings and opinions on this come to a head. Because like I said, KISS is one of the major pillars of American capitalism. They are one of the greatest examples of the American dream through capitalism. Of a young man, in the case of Gene Simmons, who was an immigrant, came to the country, saw food in stores for the first time, and went on to build a billion-dollar empire. So, again, it's all about capitalism. It's about capital. Nothing's going on here for free. So I'm cool with that. But at that same token, when there is a pandemic going on, and when there are people who are very successful, other people who charge this amount for this stuff, that are actually having trouble finding work and paying their bills, why would you ask an everyday pedestrian to pay this price? Considering the fact that people in Hollywood are struggling to pay their bills, and they're selling their homes because they can't afford to stay there, why would you ask a guy who, in Ohio, potentially just lost his business to pay you $1,000 for some sort of package with a live stream? What if I tried to sell you this video and said you could watch this video 30 times over for $1,000? You'd probably throw me out of this seat. You'd probably be breaking my door down right now. At that same token, though, and this is where I said it's coming to a head. This is my point. No one's putting a gun to anybody's head and saying they have to buy this. There's a lot of things that I may feel are overpriced because I can't afford them. I haven't been financially fruitful enough quite yet to be able to afford these things. It's a luxury that I don't have. And that's fine. Because so is a McLaren. So is a private jet. So is a Ferrari. I can't be mad about the price of these items just because I can't afford them. But there's a certain level of balance when it comes to, I don't even want to say it, but I will. The integrity the integrity of how you approach your fans, I think, is important. People have criticized $1,000 to meet the group. I think that's more reasonable. I mean, if you split the money up 4 ways, $1,000 for meet and greet with a performance makes a lot more sense. But for something like this, it just doesn't it just doesn't sit right with me. You know, with everything that's been going on, I think it would be a lot more appropriate to maybe charge $5, maybe charge $10, maybe have a $50 platinum package that comes with a special ticket or whatever. So I'm just talking about this on here. I want to hear you guys' opinions. I don't really know what to think about this. I believe in free market. I believe in the idea that something is worth what a person is willing to pay for it, especially when there's no gun to their head. There's no gun to anybody's head. And there's plenty of people in the KISS Army who can afford this probably. So it's a slippery slope. So I'm curious to hear what you guys think. But all in all, I think this is a really cool thing for KISS. I think this is actually probably going to go down as one of the most legendary events in KISS history. I mean, a performance at the Atlantis in Dubai. I can only imagine the amount of fireworks they're going to be bringing. There's said to be 50 camera angles. It's said to be one of the top live stream events of 2020. And really, it just makes me happy that it's happening. I mean, the fact that Kiss is sort of still there for us in this pandemic. They announced their farewell tour well before this. They could have just hung it up. You know, they don't even have to do this at this point. So I think it's cool that they're doing something for the fans. For a lot of Kiss fans that have been waiting for something cool to happen, that are mourning that past life, not a past life, just something that we're not in right now, it certainly is coming back. I mean, listen, if they don't let concerts come back within a year and a half, I'm going to go out in the field, rent a fucking stage, and do the next Woodstock. Who's going to stop me? They can't arrest all of us. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to get live music. But I think this is a good thing. I'm glad that Kiss is still here in some way, shape, or form. And just thinking in terms of legacy, in terms of what I would like to aspire towards in terms of a great legacy. Kiss have done it, and they just continue to do victory laps around the world, and I think it's absolutely incredible. So let me know what you guys think about those prices. I really just sort of wanted to play the devil's advocate to myself with what I was thinking about this in an open forum, and really let you guys tell me how you feel about it, because I want to know how you feel about it. Do you think it's cool? Should they charge $1,000 for this platinum package? Should they charge $50 for the regular fee? Should it be free? Should they not be doing it at all? Could it not be safe? I mean, I want to hear what you guys think. And thanks for checking this out. You know, I was on a bit of a break, not intentionally, but I got stalled by the U.S. election. I couldn't book any guests. I was sending out emails the whole week leading up to the election and the couple days after, and I couldn't get any responses because obviously we expected a pause when the election came, but I wasn't expecting such a long one. And it's not just me. Nobody could have anticipated exactly how this was going to go down and the length of time that it still is somewhat taking. So yeah, but I have lots of podcasts. I have a stacked lineup. Tomorrow I got Candace Thompson on the podcast. You've seen her on Conan O'Brien. You've seen her on Stephen Colbert, Joe Rogan. Fantastic comedian. And I'm not quite going to announce the other guests I have yet, but I have 3 podcasts scheduled in the next week. And I also have a really exciting announcement that's coming up that I'm not able to talk about quite yet. This has been in the works for a couple months now, but I think I just about sealed the deal on something. And it's going to be bringing a lot of awesome content to you guys. Real quick before I end this also, thanks for the cool comments on the shirts that I've been rocking here, the Cassius Morris Show shirts. I'm going to be releasing them soon. I'm figuring out the fine details. I don't want to rush anything. I'm at the point now where this is quality over quantity. I don't care about releasing a daily podcast. I don't care about releasing a podcast twice a week. I don't even care about doing it once a week. I care about dropping some shit that's going to be classic and some shit that's going to be memorable. That's what I care about. And when you start doing that, you can't just stop. So I don't care if it takes a fucking year until I get the next shit that I want, which it won't. It's happening tomorrow. But just know, I will wait. Love you guys so much. Thanks for giving me this forum to talk my shit. Kiss 2020.